Alright guys, it's Vincent David here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today like I promised, I said I was going to do this video, and I'm in your faces again. So it's basically a story, right? So I don't have much to say, or I don't have lots of things to say, but I'm going to just hit the nail and tell you guys the story. So I'm going to tell you how I moved from a frustrated phone repairer to an 8-digit digital marketer. So it's the journey started about 5 years ago, and really it's something that brings a whole lot of emotions when I talk about it. Okay, so we're going to gist a lot in this video, all right? Because I know a lot of people come to my channel and interact with this channel. So I lost my dad at a very young age. I think I was in SS2 then. So I did a whole lot of things. I can't even remember. In fact, recently I traveled down to where I grew up in Delta State, Nigeria, and I was I attended a conference, and in that conference I was carrying the camera. So someone asked me, "Listen, do you snap?" I said so I told him that, so I had to remember. So I was telling him that, man, this snapping was one of my first hustles back in the day. Like back in the day when I started, it was really one of my first hustles. So I just had to remember that I literally have forgotten that somewhere in my mind that I used to snap. So I used to say, I used to snap. Oh. So I did a whole lot of things. I hawked food, I worked at construction sites, I pushed Uber in the market, though my mom wasn't aware, but I did a whole lot of things, yeah. So when I started digital marketing, I first started with, the first thing I did was to go for knowledge. You see, a whole lot of young people don't understand this. You want to make the money. You want to cash out. Money is good. Money is very, very good. A whole lot of possibilities can be made available to you when you have money. Life can be very, very easy. Right? So, but that's not the first thing to go for. The first thing to go for is not the money. That's what I want you to know. I went for the knowledge. Probably before that time, I've gotten a whole lot of courses. In fact, my elder brother got a course from Toyo Motor Shop. You should know Toyo Motor Shop now. It's a principality in this industry. So he didn't use it. My curiosity for knowledge and a financial overturn, a financial breakthrough, made me start asking questions. And it's why I got the course that time for 10,000 naira. This was years ago. For 1 year, do you know I was one that used that course and birthed that course to reality. So now, in my quest for knowledge, now that course didn't give me money. It gave me idea. It gave me clue. It gave me direction. And that's what a whole lot of us don't know. Like, we really think, or we really back out when we get an idea on something, but it's not clear. Do you understand? But it's not clear. Like, we back out on that thing and we are just out of the whole thing. So that's what happened. I had an idea, but the idea wasn't clear. I needed a whole lot of direction. Do you understand? So I now, because I have a clue, I was no longer doing random searches. I was no longer doing random searches on YouTube. Like, my searches were coordinated. I told you this was going to be a gist, so pardon my hand movement. My searches were very, very coordinated, right? So I knew what I wanted to search for on YouTube. I knew where to go to. Do you understand? I knew the keywords to look out for. And that's what happens when you're introduced into an industry. What you have is just clue. You don't really have the whole idea to make the money. But that clue will lead you to the right pieces of information. Now, after that time, I started going to YouTube. I first started with information marketing, information product marketing, and I was doing a whole lot of that. Like I was in hit and run. Anytime I'm hungry, I will go run a free an advert for a free training on WhatsApp, and that advert will lead them to a free class. So I teach for 3 days and pitch my course to them, and it was really working. But it was just scratches of money here and there, 50k, 60k, and I wasn't caught out for that. So I got some courses again. All right. Then on my journey, there was this particular class I saw that really changed my life. And if you know me, and if you know me on Facebook or in the online space, you know that I really do honor Ike Okoli. His name on Facebook is Ikechukwu Okoli. Let me warn you before you go and search for him. If you go and search for him, you may be disappointed because he doesn't post this on Facebook. You may not believe, but he still does digital marketing. Like he really introduced me to the world of digital marketing. So that class was 20,000 naira, right? I've told this story a lot of times. And when I saw that class on the Friday night. The class was to hold in Lagos on Saturday. I remember I was in Delta State. What I had in my account then was 8,500. I would never ever forget. 8,500 was all I had in my entire life. Then I approached someone in church. I'll never forget him. And God bless him. Anytime I saw him 2 weeks ago, it brought back memories. I was so happy to see him. His name is Mr. Chike. He's a banker. Okay, sorry, he doesn't work in the bank anymore, but he plays keyboard for the church, my pastor. And I met him. I said, bro, I need to go for a conference. Like, I don't know what I told him that made me give him that money, 20,000 naira. I told him I'll pay him. I didn't know where to pay. Like, I didn't know how I was going to pay Mr. Chike that money. But Aisha gave me the money. Now, I remember, I was to go to Lagos for a conference, number 1. I was to lodge, number 2. Like, he gave me only 20,000 naira. I didn't have money for transport. I didn't have money to lodge. I didn't have money to eat. You know, like, he gave me that money by 12 on Friday evening. I'll never forget. And I told my mom, by 9. And I told my mom I was going to Lagos the next morning. My mom refused. She locked the gate. The fence of my compound is very high. It's very high. I jumped it. Yes, I jumped the fence. The fence is very high, but I jumped it. I jumped the entire fence and left for Lagos with night bus that Friday night. I was literally very hungry for me. Like, I was tired of where I was. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I was, you know, when you begin to rebel against where you are, it's just like when a jet wants to leave the ground. You see the way it quakes, like the noise it makes, the literal reaction that it really wants to leave this ground. That was what my life was like. You couldn't stop me. You couldn't just stop my curiosity. Like, you couldn't stop this my deep quest for freedom. Because I literally knew what was ahead of me. I've lost the head over my life then, which was my dad. And I know how difficult life can be without a father figure. Like, at a very early age, the reality of life dawned on me. Did you get it? So, that was what. I jumped the fence. My mom knows that. She will tell you that you see this person, Vincent, he's very stubborn. He's a very stubborn person. Or he can be very stubborn. So I jumped the fence. I took 9 bus to Lagos. I paid 1,000. I had 21,500. Remember, I had 20,000. Mr. Chike gave me 1,500. I had 21,500. That was what I had. 21,500. Now, I went to enter 9 bus. I'll never forget. God. I entered that 9 bus from Toll Gates at Headbridge, Onitsha. To take a seat in that 9 bus is 1,800. But to stand was 1,200. Do you know that I stood? Kai. More. I stood from Delta State at night. I paid 1,200. I stood to Lagos because I really, really wanted a change of level. Like, I was tired. This part of the story, nobody knows about it. I stood. It got to a point when we got to, everybody was sleeping. I couldn't sleep. I begged the man that was sitting by my side. I begged him that I didn't let me sit down by the handle of his chair. He said I was making him uncomfortable. I don't know him. I don't even know his face. It was night. And I bear no grudge against him. When we got to Benin, I couldn't feel my leg. Now, remember, I now have 20,200. Now, on my way, not 300, on my way, I transferred the money, 20,000, because I paid the pay stack there. So I had 300 naira left. That's why I went to Lagos. I couldn't feel my legs. Like, it got to a point. What saved me was, there was this box that was around, like, it was loaded in the bus, like traveling bus. So we got to a point, I think when we got to Ore or so, or when we got to Lagos, I begged the guy that if I don't sit down, I'm literally going to faint. I was very young, so if you could imagine years ago. That was how I sat down. He allowed me. After 1 hour, we got to Lagos. Now, if you know Lagos very well, if you take 9 bus, know that they will stop at my 2. So my 2 was where they stopped me. With 300 naira. I was so exhausted that I went to wait for the daybreak. I was carrying a very big laptop, my eldest brother's laptop. I didn't know that the place I put my leg to sleep was a gutter. Just that the part I put my leg was dry. So when I opened my eye by 6:30, because we were out by 5:30, by 6:30 a.m., I discovered that where I put my leg to gain balance on the ground was a gutter. That was how 6:30 with 300 naira I headed out for. I will never forget. The place is in Allen Avenue Ikeja, First Bank. I will never ever forget. Just that I don't stay in the mainland, so I may not be able to paint the picture or locate that place. But if I pass that place tomorrow, it holds a whole lot of memories for me. I'll remember. While I got there, I quickly went to the bedroom room, changed up, and I quickly embossed somebody. You see, the way people really believed in me throughout this journey is, I don't really get it. So I embossed somebody, and I said, please, this is my situation. And he quickly sent me, I think, 10,000 there. Oh, I just remember the person. Though he's late now. His name is Mr. Obunda. Mr. Ochi Obunda. Those that know me from home know who I'm talking about. God bless his soul. He sent me that money, 10,000 there. In the class, I was the youngest. I was literally everybody there was matured. And in the class, I was the most confused. I was coming from a journey, Saturday morning, I was so tired. I was even sleeping in the class, but I stayed true. Now, remember, I was coming from somewhere that had a clue. Now, this class gave me a broader clue. Now, what a broader clue? What they even thought wasn't e-commerce. What they thought was digital marketing, information product selling, sales funneling and stuff. That was what gave me a higher light. A higher light in the sense that I knew I had someone to talk to or someone to complain to when I had challenges. So I started doing my WhatsApp classes and stuff. Now, after that class, I went back to Delta State. And as at then, I was a phone repairer. Right? Now, the first place I was repairing phone, I was running up repairing phone. Now, because learning how to repair phone. Now, because the shop was full and I was running up, I was supposed to go and look for another shop. Now, in that place, the first place I stayed, the committee of that market said that I can't stay in that space because of the reasons best known to them. I didn't have anybody. Yeah, my boss then was a very busy person. That was how I was ejected from that place. Now, I was literally perching on in shops under the sun to look for customers to repair their phone. But the customers, I will spoil their phone out of oversight. Though both the ones that I literally like messed up the whole thing, and the ones I fixed, I couldn't just leave my house on anything. From there, I got admission to go to school and stuff like that. So, what I'm literally trying to say is, I had a clue. Now, for e-commerce, how I got clarity in e-commerce was when I connected with my friend Prince Promise. A whole lot of people know him. A whole lot of you know him. So he was doing e-commerce then, and he literally guided me through. Now, I had a knowledge of sales funneling and Facebook adverts. So all I just needed was about product sourcing and getting sellable products. Now, that's what e-commerce is literally all about. Product sourcing, getting product. Now, I didn't have money to start. What did I do again? I was in phone repair. I think I set up about 25,000 because it doesn't really pay me because people didn't trust me. Number one, I didn't have a shop. Number two, I didn't even have tools. Number three, if you see me here tomorrow, you see me there another place tomorrow. Like there was no stand. So people didn't really trust me. So I wasn't getting a whole lot of jobs. That was good at the job. I was good at the job because I later got perfect in the job. Even I used to tease my friends that if you give me your phone today, I'll repair it. And it's the truth. Anytime I go to Asaba, Delta State, if I want to fix phone, if I'm in a happy mood, I tell them to give me. I will go to that place, tell them to give me tools. Let me repair my phone myself. I'll just hang around and play around with it. So all those stuff, I could still do them. So I could raise 25,000. Now, how I left for repair was very shocking. I was staying with my friend at a time called Kenneth. No, my family house was in Asaba. So instead from coming by during the day, then called the time, the people that stayed with him for about 1 week. So one day I told him, guy, okay, his name is Kenneth, also known as Asorok. He's into real estate, crypto stuff now, but not then. Then it was majorly on events. He see those events now. I told him, guy, today I'm not going to work. He was like, now what is wrong with me? Is it that I said, I really want to focus on this, my e-commerce. I didn't have money. Oh. Now, this was after a year after I've gone to that class, right? So what I was doing is I would prepare phone by day and learn digital marketing and e-commerce by night. So I was doing this. Now, I didn't leave phone repair fully. I was doing e-commerce small. At least at the time I saw, that was when I was selling all those my classes. There's people that I saw 50K. I used to solve urgent problems. I said, if I focus my energy on this thing, to really pay me. Brothers and sisters. It was as if I was manipulated. I left phone repair without anything. Please don't make that mistake. Without any solid structure in place. I suffered. Back then, I've already gotten into school. I was 100 level. My mom told me not to write that. My mom can give you a whole lot of record that can give her a solid proof to call me a stubborn person because I literally rebel against things that I don't like. She told me not to write jam because there was no money for me to go to school. There was no school fees to pay. I told her, me, that I don't have shish anywhere in the world. I told her that she will not pay my school fees, that I'll be the one to pay it. Me, Okobo. So I borrowed money to buy the jam form. She didn't give me the money for someone that gave me advice. She said, yeah, okay, I can't do your thing. So I was in school then. First 3 weeks. Okay, so first few months in school. Yeah, I was staying with someone, but I had an issue with him, so he ejected me out of the house. First few months in school, I was sleeping in the school. Literally. I would tell people I was going for 9th class. I wasn't going for 9th class. I was entering the school with books so that I could sleep. I had a place with my friend where I dropped my bag. I later moved in to stay with him for a little. His name is Best. I will never forget him. I see my friend, we still talk. Best said I couldn't stay in his place then, and the reason was very understandable. Because his house was not free. People were in his house. So, but he allowed me to keep my bag and was allowing me to come and bathe. So in the morning, I'll go to best place to bathe. Bathe and brush. Then I'll go to school during the day. Now, I would go to school during the day. At night, I will go to school to sleep. Now, because I was in school, I wasn't paying attention to this digital marketing stuff. I did all manner. I sold liquid soap that my classmates and my friends still used to tease me to today. Liquid soap that nobody bought in school. I sold bag of water and retail water, sachet water in school. I sold a whole lot of things. Like, there was nothing I wasn't trying to sell. So it got to time. I made another terrible mistake. I started to focus on digital marketing fully. I sold my first product. My first big product. That gave me my first $1 million that I blew. I won't tell what I blew it on. I blew that money. If I told someone, I was telling someone, even till last week, I was telling someone that I made $1 million 3 times back in the day, and I've blown them. Like, I became a millionaire 3 times, and I blew it 3 times. Like, God loves me so much that He showed me mercy every time I blew it again. In fact, the person that gave me money to come back to where I am today is my friend Esther. I spoke to her this morning. Esther, yeah, my friend Esther. He gave me 100,000 back in the day when I was crying. So, you know that they say that if you suffer and make money, you will not blow the money. Now, lie. I suffer to make money, I blew it. I blew my 1 million. Now what for you? I blew it. So the first 1 million I made, it was with arthritis oil. For arthritis, I'll never ever forget. Boom, I blew it. Came back to about 100,000 or so. Second one, I can't remember what gave me that money, but I blew it again. Third one was where I came down to 200 naira. Hey! God, I couldn't afford 200 naira to eat. That was when, you see, when you tell people that God is helping, that are stingy, those that really understand will really listen to you, because they actually know where they're coming from. I was borrowing for 300k. When I was done, they couldn't give me 1.5. I swear to you, they couldn't give me 1.5. I know what I'm saying. They couldn't give me 10,000 naira. I said, they couldn't give me 500 naira. I'm saying 10,000 naira. So that was when I actually ran to I think this day I said, okay, so let me go back to e-commerce. I first started selling health. So from health, I moved to health gadgets like blood pressure monitor, blood sugar monitor, all those things. I moved to health gadgets, then I moved to gadgets too. So I was selling random things before I finally went back and based in health. So now I'm saying this story is that I know I've dropped a whole lot of lessons while talking. So I want you to understand that if you're going through anything, if your story looks like me, if you look like no money, no income, right now, I don't have all the money, but at least I'm not hungry. Someone asked me a question, if I am rich. I said, I can't say yes, and I won't say no. But at least I can afford anything I need at my level. So I can afford to send money to my parents, take care of my people. I can afford to take care of my loved ones. I can afford to take care of myself. I can afford to feed. And I can afford to travel once in a while if I really want to. Yeah, I can afford to live in a comfortable house. That's why I'm doing this video. You should be encouraged in your journey. Don't let anybody discourage you. Right? So I'm motivating, I'm literally inspiring you. So I hope you've listened to my story, and I hope you've learned a whole lot of things. If you've not watched my videos, watch them, and I'll bring more content to your faces. And I'm back fully. I've been busy a whole lot at the back end with our stuff, product creation, customers, what we're working on I'm back from your face, and I hope to see you in my channel. I think I'll do part of this video, but for now I'm tired. I've talked for 24 minutes. I'm tired. I don't know how I got here. I'm actually tired, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Vincent.